had mentioned, I think a couple of weeks back, that I will speak about healing. Healing, a few points about healing. Healing, as we understand here, it's a very, very noble act of unconditional love. How does this healing work? It works in several ways. Guruji used to explain that it is not just a single process, like, giving medicine to a person and the person gets cured. It's not like that. There are multiple things involved here, multiple processes involved here. Any sickness will have a root cause, a spiritual root cause, let us say. Generally we say the karmas, they manifest as sickness. That's the general understanding. And there may be times when this could be purely a physical thing, meaning, we get infected and we have these seasonal sicknesses. We are not talking of such things. We are talking of sicknesses of a slightly serious nature, which are due to karmas. Any sickness, it has its energy. Guruji used to also say that the imbalance of energies in our system, that causes sickness. We can say that the energy of the sickness, it causes imbalance of energies in our system. So, when we send healing energies, these healing energies, they convert these energies of sickness. Then that is how a relief is given. Before the person receives the energies, actually, the healing energies, they seek permission from the person to enter him for healing. We know that there is free will always. The person can reject the energies or accept the energies. It is up to him. If the person does not accept the energies, then the process ends there. But when the person accepts the energies, let's say the energies remove this imbalance of energies and they give him a great relief. This is one part. There are several other things Guruji used to explain, and I will explain in a bit. So the imbalance in energies can be corrected like this to give relief. But I feel for this imbalance to be removed permanently, the person himself or herself has to make efforts to grow spiritually. We can provide the relief, we can provide a direction. We meaning the energies, God and the rishis, they may provide guidance, a direction, give a relief also. But after that, the person has to do things himself. Maybe he or she has to take up meditations. It helps. Positivization, that helps. When I am talking like this, I talk generally. I am not picking up any examples. Generally, I am saying just to understand. Each case will be different, and my idea is not to judge any particular case. Each case will be different, and sometimes there will be spiritual reasons which we will not be able to understand. So generally we are saying the energies help by, the healing energies help by converting the energies of sickness. Then the energies also educate the person, and they talk to the person at a deeper level. They tell him why exactly you have this problem. They tell him. And they tell him to make changes in himself. They probably tell him to take up spiritual practices, such things. The person will not know at this level. And even the healers, we who are involved in the process of sending healing energies, we will not be knowing these things. But the person will know at a deeper level. And if he accepts, if he responds to these suggestions, this guidance, then he will take up certain things at the physical level, at the human level. If the person responds positively, fully, then the healing will be faster. We know that when we send healing energies, we send maybe once or twice, generally once, and in some rare cases, twice. As a group I am talking of. Individually, people known to us, we may send healing energies for a slightly longer time, maybe for a week we send. But the real healing happens when the person himself takes up sadhana. If not sadhana, like we have taken up meditations, if not that, at least he makes efforts in making changes, in positivizing himself. We would have observed that the person may become humbler or more compassionate. All such changes, they help. So, one is the energies, the conversion of energies. The second thing is a kind of communication, education to the person takes place. Then a bit of karmas are cleared by the healing energies. Maybe the rishis do it in their own way. This is necessary, I think, to give relief. And these I feel that the people who are involved in the process of healing, we have to accept this, a part of the karmas of the person. This will be a very small part, of course, and we can meditate and clear this part. That is why we say that if you wish to take up healing, you have to meditate regularly. If not regularly, at least 5 days in a week, we say. This is very important. When the person makes a choice and decides to grow spiritually, that itself helps him clear the karmas. Then, with persistent efforts, the person can heal himself completely. It may take time. It may require persistent efforts for a longer time. It depends on the quantity of karmas, etc. What is our role as a healer? What is our role? I feel it is very limited, although it is very important. Very important. Important because physical channels are required to send the healing energies to the person. And I say limited because apart from being a channel, everything else is done by the energies and the rishis. Of course, if we know the person personally, then we can extend whatever knowledge we have gathered. That's a different matter. Many times we get requests and personally we will not be knowing the individual. In such cases, our role is limited. It's sending the energies. That is all. Although our role is limited, it gives us great satisfaction that we are involved in such a beautiful process. We have to do our duty properly and sincerely. That is all. There are a few other things explained by Guruji. He would say that there should be no commerce in healing. We cannot charge a fees for healing. because it involves dealing with the karmas. It should not be done indiscriminately. And those who are not meditators, they should not take up healing. Another few related points. By sending healing energies, can we prevent death? This we know clearly, we cannot. We cannot. By sending healing energies, can we be sure that the person is going to be cured completely? Can we be sure? Again, we cannot. It doesn't mean that the healing is not effective. It doesn't mean that we are inefficient. It's not like that. There are other realities. Like I said earlier, the person himself has to take up these practices. He himself has to take up spiritual sadhana. He himself has to make up efforts to grow spiritually. To get permanent relief, we can only provide some relief. And a direction, of course, a direction. So if we know that the person is not going to, we cannot stop death, we cannot completely cure the person, then why do heal at all? That's the question. We have to do it because it gives a relief and it gives a direction. When the time of death has come, then nobody can stop this death. And at such times, the healing energy is sent by us. They help the person, the soul, to leave the body easily, without fear, without any struggle. That's why we have to go on doing our duty, our part. Many times it is observed that when we send healing energies, the energies probably they work in such a way at the human level, at the physical level, that the person sleeps. I have heard this from a couple of people. And in the sleep, the healing occurs. The intelligence behind the healing process, they have a higher purpose. It's not just to cure the person somehow. They have a higher purpose. To elevate him, to help him grow spiritually. If the person being healed does not make that choice of growing spiritually, then the healing becomes difficult. So we have to understand so many things, understand all these factors. And let us say in some cases, if there is, we don't see any effect, we have to understand all these factors and should not lose faith in healing. There are so many cases where healing has helped people. Miraculously it has helped. That is a fact. Another point Guruji clarified is that the practice of healing or participating in healing process, that itself does not help us grow spiritually. Meaning, to grow spiritually, we have to take up meditations. Healing itself cannot be considered as spiritual sadhana. It helps, no doubt, it helps, but that itself is not spiritual sadhana. We have to meditate to grow spiritually. Guruji used to tell us that Amaraji, Maharshi Amara, he did not even speak about healing, I believe. He never spoke about healing. But mere association with him, it removed diseases. Whenever people went to him, problems were solved and diseases went into the background. For our personal healing, Guruji said, meditations are enough. Our meditations, they heal us, like I said in the beginning. So our meditations are enough to give us good health. And he said, not only our meditations heal us, they also heal people who come in contact with us. This is such a beautiful point. That is the power of meditations and holding on to positivity. If we can do that, if we can meditate regularly and hold on to positivity, we will be carrying light always. And this light somehow reaches people who come in contact with us, and it helps them in their healing.